most people get into coding the traditional way. They study computer science at university, do a summer internship, and then get a full-time job as a software engineer. My path into this field has been completely different, and I'm going to tell you my story of how I went from a nightclub promoter into coding, because I never really thought coding was something I can do. I thought it was too nerdy and just something I wasn't smart enough to do. But then everything changed when COVID happened. I was working as a nightclub promoter and I lost my job during that time, and I felt like it wasn't just that I just lost my job, I kind of lost my identity too. I got a job as a promoter first of all because I was in Vegas during the time and I had a failing Amazon business and had to get a job. I didn't want to go back to getting an office job in finance accounting of what I was doing before, and I picked this job up as a promoter. It was hard at first, but I eventually got the hang of things and started doing well. It was actually kind of exciting. It brought a lot of creativity that I didn't know I had out into the world, and then people started noticing it, and I was like doing great. It felt like there hasn't been anyone else in the Vegas nightclub promoter industry like me, of how creative I was, how hard I worked in it, and just my tenacity into this industry. And it felt like, on a personal level, I've always felt kind of like an outcast, not belonging. And it wasn't that I didn't feel like an outcast and not just feeling accepted. I felt cool for once. I felt seen. I felt capable. I felt admirable. But then COVID happened, and I remember that March 2020, when it first occurred. We had our first pool party weekend, and I had a record-breaking weekend of the amount of reservations I had. And I was so excited for the year because during the slow season over the holidays, the winter, I was working so hard to network, build relationships, make reservations, and then when the summer season, pool party season came along, I was gonna get my payoff from it. But that never happened. Things shut down. I unfortunately lost my job during the period. And it was hard because while I lost my job, things were hard, I saw other people like kind of killing it during this time. People were able to buy a house thanks to the lower interest rates, and people got to work remotely. People got raises, people got better jobs during the time, while I was just at home feeling kind of lost, kind of sad, trying to figure things out. And it gave me a chance to reflect about my life, and I was just thought about my dreams I had during college of traveling the world, creating my own product, and how somewhere along the way I kind of lost sight of the dreams I had. And I was stumbling the web one day during this time, and it clicked to me. What if I did coding? I had a lot of friends from college that did coding, and they were doing fine, especially during the COVID times. If they could do it, why not me? And I'll be able to have a nice salary, I'll be able to work remotely, it'll help me create a business one day. So I decided to make a change. I started watching YouTube tutorials on how to code, started learning it. But then it quickly realized how difficult it is to code. I was doing all these tutorials, following along, coding along on the computer, but I realized that I wasn't learning anything. I was just copying whatever the tutorial says. I realized that if I was going to make it to this field, I really had to commit myself. I mentally decided that I won't go back to nightlife, and just made a promise to myself that no matter how long it took, I'll do whatever it takes to make it into this tech field. So I signed up for a coding bootcamp. $10,000 I invested in myself to try to make it in this field. And this gave me a chance to connect with other people who were like me, trying to make it into the coding field, learning to code. I got mentors, teachers in the field. I got to see it firsthand how they approach problems, how they coded, and I started to really like it. I enjoyed the problems that came across. If a problem was hard, I'll get more excited because of the difficult problem, and I got to appreciate the satisfaction I got when solving a difficult coding problem. So I baby stepped my way through this field, from taking a coding bootcamp, and then I tutored other students on their coding bootcamp. After completing this one, I did an unpaid internship at a startup. I did an apprenticeship program until finally I was able to get that remote, high-paying, salaried software engineering job. And started the job. It was hard at first, but then I slowly got the flow of things, started to feel like an actual software engineer. I understood how things worked and appreciate the systems it had. After my first year, I got a raise, I got a good performance review, but then it happened again where I lost my job, this time because of the tech layoff, what was going on in the industry. So being laid off again in a different field just kind of made me realize that no matter what field I go into, I have to do my own thing. I have to rely on myself. So that was why I started freelancing web development, and that's where I'm at today. So I get to work on exciting projects that I choose where I resonate with the founder's vision of the app they want to create. And I get to use everything I learned throughout my coding journey to create a good product and how to work with clients. And then I'm creating videos to talk about the journey, talk about the different ways of my stories. I'll make future videos about like my internships, my jobs, everything I've learned along the way that helped me create a good product for my clients into this field. So if that is something you're interested in, stay tuned for more videos.